Life is a journey filled with unexpected twists and turns. At times, we soar to great heights, feeling invincible, only to be brought down by failures that seem impossible to recover from. I have tasted the sweetness of early success, only to be humbled by crushing setbacks. I have been admired and envied, and I have been abandoned and forgotten. Through it all, I have come to realize that true strength is not measured by how high we rise, but by how many times we can stand back up after falling. This is my story, a story of ambition, failure, resilience, and redemption. I share it not to dwell on the past, but to offer lessons to those who may be facing their own struggles. If my journey can inspire even one person to keep going when all seems lost, then every hardship I endured will have been worth it. 1. Early success and losing my way. I was born into an ordinary family where my hardworking parents instilled in me the belief that education was the key to changing my fate. I worked hard, excelled academically, got into a prestigious university, and landed a job at a well-known company after graduation. At that time, I was full of confidence, thinking the world was in my hands. In the early days of my career, I quickly gained recognition from my superiors due to my intelligence and diligence, earning a promotion to department manager. Many admired me for achieving success at a young age, and some even believed I was destined for greatness. Their praise got to my head, and I became arrogant, looking down on colleagues who had been in the company longer but had not been promoted. However, life has its way of humbling us. A major restructuring took place in the company, and my supportive boss was replaced. The new management did not trust me and even deliberately suppressed my position. Within 6 months, I was demoted, and eventually, I lost my job. The intelligence I once prided myself on seemed meaningless in the face of workplace politics. That was when I realized that true success doesn't come from mere talent or luck, but from humility, perseverance, and a solid foundation. Lesson learned. Never lose yourself in success. Humility and stability are the keys to long-term progress. Quick wins mean nothing if you don't have a solid foundation to sustain them. 2. A failed business and hitting rock bottom. After losing my job, I refused to accept failure and decided to start my own business. I opened a small trading company, and at first, things went smoothly. I made some money and regained confidence. Unfortunately, my ambition grew too fast. I wanted to expand quickly without properly establishing a strong foundation. I invested heavily, hoping to scale up in a short time. However, the market didn't follow my plans. Cash flow issues arose, clients defaulted on payments, and eventually, the company collapsed, leaving me deep in debt. At my lowest point, I couldn't even afford rent and had to rely on friends for financial support. I went from being a promising young manager to a jobless, debt-ridden failure. The people who once flattered me now avoided me like the plague. It was then that I truly understood the fickleness of human relationships. One day, as I aimlessly wandered the streets, I saw an elderly sanitation worker carefully picking up a piece of trash and placing it into his bag with great care. His actions were so precise and diligent that it struck me deeply. At that moment, I realized, what right did I have to give up? If a street cleaner could take his work seriously, why couldn't I pull myself together and start over? From that day on, I changed my mindset. I accepted my failure and stopped dwelling on my misfortunes. I took up a simple job, not glamorous, but it provided a stable income. Slowly, I rebuilt my confidence and started learning from my past mistakes. Lesson learned. Overconfidence and impatience lead to failure. Success requires patience, market awareness, and a strong foundation. Most importantly, no matter how many times you fall, never give up on yourself. 3. The importance of family. During hard times, during my darkest days, the only people who stood by me were my family. My wife never left my side, constantly encouraging me not to give up. At my lowest point, She even used her savings to help me pay off part of my debt. It was then that I truly realized the importance of family. In my younger years, I believed that making money was life's top priority. I worked long hours, missed out on my child's growth, and neglected my wife's companionship. But when I lost everything, the only ones who remained were my family. After that, I began prioritizing my family over my career. No matter how busy I am now, I always make time to eat dinner with my family, talk with them, and be present in their lives. I have come to understand that true happiness does not come from wealth, but from having people who love and support you unconditionally. Lesson learned: business can fail and money can be lost, but family is life's greatest treasure. Do not wait until it's too late to appreciate them. 4. Starting over and the power of persistence. After experiencing business failure and financial struggles, I reflected deeply and decided to start over. This time, I didn't rush into anything. Instead, I started from the basics, learning new skills, studying market trends, and rebuilding my financial stability step by step. I worked hard to understand business better and made sure every move was well calculated. Unlike before, I was no longer in a hurry to succeed overnight. Instead, I focused on slow and steady growth. Years later, I managed to rebuild my career. My business gradually flourished again. But this time, I remained grounded. I no longer let success get to my head and always reminded myself of the lessons I had learned. Now, I also try to mentor young entrepreneurs, sharing my failures so they can avoid the mistakes I once made. Lesson learned: failure is not the end. It is just a lesson. The key is to learn from mistakes and keep moving forward. True success is not about reaching the top quickly, but about having the resilience to rise after every fall. Words of advice for the future generation. My life has seen great highs and devastating lows. I have tasted success, endured failure, and learned valuable lessons. If I could offer one message to those who are struggling, it would be this. 1. Humility and consistency are more important than intelligence. Keep learning, improving, and staying grounded. 2. Overconfidence and impatience lead to failure. Success takes time and requires patience. 3. Family is the most valuable asset in life. Don't neglect them in pursuit of wealth. 4. Failure is never final unless you give up. Get back up and try again. 5. True success is measured by resilience, not by how fast you rise. The ability to endure hardship and still keep moving forward is what defines a successful life. Today, I continue working hard, but I do so with a sense of gratitude and balance. I no longer chase after empty success, but instead focus on living a meaningful, stable life. I hope my story can serve as a lesson and encouragement to those who may be facing hardships. No matter where you are now, as long as you refuse to give up, there will always be a chance to start over.